So on the list of things that I didn't expect to happen in 2022, Ash Ketchum finally winning a fucking Pokemon championship was definitely not on my list, but I'm happy for him. You know what?
Good for him, man.
It's been a long time coming.
Yep.
I remember when he was trying to not catch the Spearows, but beat them to death when they were pecking at Pikachu. I was there, I remember.
The ground floor. We know Ash. We grew up with Ash.
I was there when James got tits to try to win the bikini contest.
I was there when it made me just a little hard for the first...
Yeah. I was there when it confused me sexually. And I wasn't there for when the guy in the Safari Zone pulled a gun on him, because we didn't get that episode.
I was there for when I got a seizure from these red and blue flashing lights.
I was there when I saw Porygon blinked and woke up in a hospital.
Dude, it's kind of fucking ass that, like, Porygon has just never shown up again.
Yeah, like, not even, like, look, Porygon, I don't know if you guys know Porygon's evolutions in Pokemon, but, like, he starts off as a little N64 dude, but he becomes this just little wacky dude, and I love him. He becomes, like, he goes from, like, N64 graphics to, like, PS3 graphics. And then he goes from PS3 graphics to, like, oh no, you downloaded a virus on LimeWire.
Yes. And that's what's great about it.
Yeah, and that's the best part, honestly.
He's my little guy.
Yeah. Because, like, look, I love Rotom, but Porygon Z is just a little wacky dude. And he's just, hell yeah. I don't know what the lore behind Porygon Z is. The dubious disc. And he downloads LinkinPark.exe and then...
So the first computer virus is called the Worm, and I'm pretty sure, or the Morris Worm, more specifically. It kind of just like, I don't really understand what it did, but it kind of just like fucked the internet and like spread through the internet.
Like a Diaborama.
No joke, yeah. It was some like Mamoru Hosoda type shit. So like fucking as far as I understand, the worm is on display at some fucking location. It's in some museum on a floppy disk. That's what the dubious disk is.
That makes a crap ton of a lot more sense.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. Let me state that I don't know if that's a fact. I'm just saying this for fun.
No. It's fact now because we say it so.
Exactly. My grandfather is Game Freak.
My grandpa is Game Freak. Well, your grandpa made some Pokemon that Ash has on his winning team, and I just want to go over them from like a let me see how good Ash's team would be in like Pokemon Showdown if I were to run it. And it's pretty alright except for a few picks that are weird. Pikachu, okay, look, Pikachu, he has to run Pikachu.
Yeah.
It's bread and butter. So Pokemon don't have like held items in the show, but there was a story arc in one of the seasons, I think in like Diamond and Pearl, which was like way back, God, where like Pikachu uses the light ball, which in the game, if he holds the light ball and you like, oh, it's so convoluted.
What does it do?
So the light ball specifically as a held item powers up Pikachu, like only Pikachu. Let me look what it does.
Specific. That's weird.
Yeah, so every Pokemon can hold it, but only when this item is held by a Pikachu, the holder's attack and special attack are doubled.
That's fucked, actually.
Yeah, and so it's actually pretty good. Like, you know, Pikachu. Look, I'm gonna get full on like Pokemon Showdown. His base stats are kind of ass because he's like a middle of the evolution chain Pokemon.
Right.
But like, his speed is 90, which is actually like fairly competitive.
That's pretty up there, yeah.
And then his attack and special attack are like his base are 50 and 55. But like if you double that, it goes to 100. So
decent,
it's like he becomes like a glass cannon. So it's like, all right, that's cool. And
it's respectable a little bit. Yeah.
He gets access to some good moves. He gets access to the Sejun Park's 20. Oh, when did he win? 2014.
No. Yeah.
The
Pachirisu.
The Korean player that used Pachirisu. Pikachu has access to Nuzzle. So like, quick side tangent. I don't know if I've brought it up on the show before. I think I have. If we've talked about Pokemon. Yeah. This dude, Sejun Park, is like a really like decorated Pokemon player in Korea. And like 1 year in like Worlds, I think it was the year that Mega Evolutions were a thing. He was like, everybody was running like you know, Mega Kangaskhan and stuff like that, and he was just like, I like Pachirisu, and everyone was like, what? And he's like, I'm gonna use Pachirisu, and it turned out
because like he accidentally leaked the team that he was planning on.
Yeah, his team like got leaked or something, and then he had to come up with something else, and then he's like, well, I like Pachirisu, and actually, hold on, this move Nuzzle is really fucking good, and also it has Follow Me, and so, like, Pokemon Worlds is double battle format, so the move Follow Me is like broken, because it makes every attack target whoever uses Follow Me, so like, you know, there's multiple plays in that set if you watch it where like you just see Pachirisu use Follow Me, tank a fucking Draco Meteor from Mega Salamence, and then like as he's doing that, his Garchomp uses Swords Dance and just destroys. Like,
that fucking comic is so classic.
Yeah,
has like it's man, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get the original like poster of this.
Oh, I have no idea.
Wait, hold on.
Poster was.
Fuck no. Okay. But it's like Pachirisu eating a Pecha Berry, just holding up the Draco Meteor with one finger, and like Garchomp on the team kind of just sweating like, hey, yo, what the fuck?
Like, yeah, the Garchomp is like giving Pachirisu the side eye, like sweating profusely, like, oh my god. Like,
it's not a Pecha. Is it a citrus? Whatever. I don't
know. I forget which. It's whatever berry.
Wait.
Pog? I forget which berry it was. It was a berry that like heals you when you get under a specific amount of health.
Yo, I've actually found the fucking source.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yes.
Like the OG. Okay, you were right. It's 2014. Fucking
hell yeah.
If it's on Pixiv, that gotta be the source, you know?
Yup.
God, I fucking hope this is the source.
We're just attributing this to the wrong person.
Look, man.
God, but yeah, look. All I'm gonna say is Ash's winning team is Pikachu, Dragonite, Galarian Farfetch'd, Lucario, Dracovish, and Gengar. And so, as much as I would have wanted him to bring his Charizard, he was fighting Leon from Sword and Shield, and I'm sure that they were gonna be like, alright, now you can't have two Charizards on the screen, like, it's gonna get confusing, and I would have gotten confused.
Well, fuck him.
Yeah, but fuck him. But I like Dragonite, because look, Dragonite, hidden ability, multi-scale. If Pokemon is at max HP, the first attack it gets hit with is reduced by 50%.
Oh, yeah.
This man Dragonite is just built for turn 1 Dragon Dance. Fuck you, you literally can't kill me.
Yeah. The fucking untouchable thereafter.
Yeah. And like that's pretty good. Galarian Farfetch'd, I just have no idea. Like it gets access to some cool attacks, but like his base stats are horrendous.
Are they?
Like 95 attack, which is good. 55 like everywhere else. I'm like, oh,
that hurts.
No. No.
See, all this, do you think that Lucario, dude, what? Do you think that Ash could beat this guy on TikTok that we've been watching?
Oh, the cheese guy.
Yeah.
There's a dude on TikTok who goes on Pokemon Showdown and plays the most troll teams. Mind you, like, Pokemon is a game where, like, almost kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it's been around so long that, like, there are certain strategies that just, if you don't have an immediate counter to, like, you kind of just get run over if you don't know how to stop it at the proper moment.
I mean, that's like high level play in anything. Like, if you don't expect like a counterplay for something, like it's the kind of thing where like, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, you never know if someone will have like a battle fader for no fucking reason, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking like B tier card. No one really puts it in because we don't have the space for it. But fucking what if, man?
Can I say the classic of these Pokemon Showdown videos, the epitome of like this Pokemon trolling on Pokemon Showdown is this guy sends out Arceus or Arceus, and it's named Arceus Steel, and the other guy has Landorus, and he uses Earthquake, and it says immune. And he's like, what the heck? Like, since when is Steel unaffected by ground? And the dude gets wiped by this Arceus. And then, like, he's like, will you tell me the secret? Like, you're hacking, you're cheating, right? And then the guy just types, oh, it's my secret weapon. I'm using Arceus Sky, and I gave it the nickname Arceus Steel.
It's so good, man.
Oh god, it's so funny. All in all, Ash's team, pretty good. Lucario, I like. Dracovish is absolutely broken. It has a move called like Vicious Rend that's a bite attack, so its ability gives it a 50% damage boost. It's water, so it gets stab on it. And then the move itself, if you move before your target, the power is doubled. So like if you're in Trick Room, you just you're doing like 300% damage on that move.
That's so fucked. Like legitimately.
So that Pokemon is busted. And then he's also using Gengar, which who doesn't like Gengar?
Gengar is also just like really good. From what I understand, it has really good special attack stats and like okay kind of like defensive stats.
Yeah, Gengar's just chilling. He's a sweeper. Like they took away Shadow Tag and Levitate from him. So he's been nerfed.
Really?
He's been nerfed. Yeah, his only ability is Cursed Body now.
That's
they took away Levitate. They took away Levitate because he was so good on teams with like, you know, Therian Landorus or whatever.
Sure, I kind of get that, but also like fuck Landorus. But also like no Shadow Tag?
Yeah, because I think the Mega Gengar had access to Shadow Tag, and then they were like,
okay, sure.
God bless Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, but like when they're balancing these Pokemon for competitive play, which they do a lot more now, like the games are made with competitive in mind, like somebody at Game Freak was like, all right, like Shadow Tag has been like,
we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, it's that picture of like all of the knights holding their sword on the table, and it's like, so we all agree that like this ability can just never return. It's like, yes, we do all agree. All in all, watch that fight. It's really well animated. Ash wins the championship, and it's Pikachu against Charizard, and his Pikachu goes ham, and it's hella good.
Dude, it's about time. I'm glad.
Hell yeah. We're not a Pokemon anime recap podcast just yet.
That would be... Yu-Gi-Oh! Comes first.
Yeah. New podcast idea. We watch every episode of Pokemon, and we competitively analyze every single episode and like whether it's fact or fiction. Like Ash should not have lost to fucking this, and then Ash actually made a better trade trading the Butterfree for the Raticate.
Look, Yu-Gi-Oh's first on the list. We can still do the competitive analysis.
We do the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh, but we start at GX, and it's my spiral into depression of how Neospatians are just not good.
Unfortunately depressing.
Yeah.
Look, I'm pulling up the Excel sheet again. Okay, if we started at GX, maybe it would be different.
But if we start at the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh, it would take us. It would take us how many? Yeah, 7 years.
7 years, which is longer than we've been podcasting so far.
7 more years.
7 more years. I think if we ignore Duel Masters, I think that's actually viable. I think it's 4 years.
Yeah, if we just started at like Battle City.
Oh no, I'm saying like fuck Duel Masters entirely. Duel Monsters, sorry. So like, hold on. Let me do some Excel wizardry real quick on the pod. You know, can I do some Excel on the pod real quick?
Can I Excel on the pod real quick?
Yeah.
Come on, Mom. I'm just trying to Excel on the pod real quick.
Exactly, Mom. All the cool kids are excelling on the pod.
Oh, God. Well, while you're excelling on the pod, we are Paramecia Fancast, a One Piece fancast where we review the latest chapters of One Piece and have different One Piece-related discussions every single week. My name is John.
My name is Franz. I was wrong. It'd be 5 years.
Okay.
Which is still okay. Hear me out. We don't do Rush. We don't do the new one, Sevens. That's still 5 years, but
yeah, 5 years, 5Ds,
5D. Okay, what if we skip half of GX?
What if we do only season 3 and 4 of GX?
Yeah. I think that still puts us at like 4.5 though.
Yeah, we cut down like 2 months just doing that.
Yeah, I'm right. 4.5. Jesus Christ.
Jesus, no. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon can wait. We are a One Piece podcast right now. Chapter 1066, The Will of Ohara. Already I read this and I was like, oh.
Thank God.
Thank God. But, yeah, we get some emotional shit this chapter.
Yeah, this chapter I did not expect to, that shit hurted in a good way. But...
In a good way.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. We start with, again, not the finale, but Germa 66's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 23. Germa returns with added bonus, and you can see the Germa siblings flying, and then behind them is just Caesar Clown in like his little gas form. Give Caesar a raid suit at just F it.
Dude, fucking... Oh, man. I do want to say, I don't know how this is going to finish. This would have been a great finale.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to finish with Judge meeting Caesar Clown, which kind of terrifies me because I'm like, okay, Judge worked with Vegapunk and Queen at one point. So, like, Judge working with, like, unhinged Vegapunk, basically? Like,
yeah.
Which is weird to say because Vegapunk is already unhinged, but like,
dude, special science
on children.
Group 2?
Yeah. Oh my God, basically.
That'd be fucking crazy, man. Let's get into the fucking real shit though. Yeah. Fucking because like last time we left off with Daft Punk Vegapunk Shaka saying this island is not like this isn't a vision of the future. This is the vision of the past, the far past, the void century past. So everyone, we open up and just like, what the fuck are you saying? And he was like, okay, it's a theory, a game theory. There once was a man named Gold Roger, who gave his life for archaeology and brought the kingdom's existence to light. And that timeline matches up with the period in which a certain machine discovered elsewhere was originally produced. And Robin immediately picks up what he puts down. Would that machine happen to have been made during the Void Century? And Shaka, we knew Shaka kind of had something for Robin. But, like, how much do you know?
Ooh. Yeah, testing her. And even Nami's like, Robin, you know about this? And then Shaka's just like, I realize this may be painful for you to remember. Your hometown of Ohara was leveled by the Navy's buster call 22 years ago. I suspect this was because Ohara had discovered the existence of that particular kingdom. The Void Century, as it's called, is the history of a war between this extremely advanced civilization of the past and a group of 20 kingdoms. The 20 kingdoms won the war and later developed the world government, creating the world that we know today. In order to ensure that the ideals of that ancient kingdom could not be passed down, they erased all traces of it from history. And I forget that, like, this is the first time, like, any of them are hearing about it, because we heard about it in the Ohara flashback.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, that's true. Like, Robin hasn't really divulged, like, a lot of, like, she hasn't really sat them all down and told them about the Void Century, mostly because, like...
It's an info hazard.
It's an info hazard, and also, like, it's just so personal to, like, her story.
Yes.
That, like, she tells them information that they need to know, like, oh, like, you know, like, it's signed Joy Boy, like, this one wasn't written by the people of Wano, this one was written by somebody else, like, somebody named Joy Boy carved this one, it's like a letter, but then, you know, like, other shit, like, oh, Pluton is hidden in Wano, she just conveniently, or not I don't say conveniently like that, but, like, she just didn't tell anybody until she got to Wano, mostly, like you said, because it's like a cognito hazard, but also, yeah, like, you know, not that she doesn't trust them, but it's like,
she doesn't want to saddle them with, like, what happens later in this chapter of just, like, now that they know, they're marked. Like, okay,
yeah,
so, like,
exactly.
Dear listener, a cognito hazard is information that is just, like, bad to know, theoretically, and, like, it's not that this is, like, black or white, like, it's a philosophy thing, and with all philosophical shit, with all that kind of stuff, you know, there's debates on whether, like, oh, can it be, like, ontologically bad, like, yes, no, like, whatever, like, it's whatever you make of it. But theoretically, if you, listener, knew how to make a nuclear bomb, that knowledge is inherently dangerous in some aspect. The knowledge of how to make this nuke would be bad. And if you taught someone else that would be also bad for society. And being bad for society would mark them as kind of like a bad person, and yourself as a bad person. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if, okay, on my TikTok feed, I get cognito hazards very often.
TikTok is like a minefield of cognito hazards.
Let me put it this way. Jay Schlatt, ex-Minecraft player, now just the least racist New Yorker you've ever seen on YouTube. There was like a meme in his community for like a long time where like he would like watch TikToks and videos submitted by his audience, and they would always like start out with like, this is how you make a pipe bomb or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think most of them didn't actually get to it, but some of them did.
Yeah.
And
There's one
hazard.
Yeah, there was one recently. I think we sent it to each other. It was like, oh, I got this mystery liquid, and if you put styrofoam in the mystery liquid, it turns into like this white goo. And if you light this white goo on fire, it stays lit for days, and it's impossible to get off of surfaces. The U.S. government discovered this, and it just cuts off. Like, it's just definitely, the caption was definitely not making napalm.
Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, we are, like, it's because of the internet that we're in this position. But there's no internet in One Piece. And fucking Robin knows to keep her mouth shut when she needs to.
We deserve to all get Buster called.
the whole J-Schlatt community needs to get Buster called.
Yeah. Oh, God. But yeah, I love, like, everybody's, like, reaction. Like, Nami's reaction is, like, shock. And then Usopp's reaction is just awe. Like, is that really true? Frankie is like, whoa, talk about a tale packed with romance and mystery. Like, dude, your wife's island got blown the fuck up. Like,
yeah,
you can't
right?
say that.
like, dude.
And then Sanji is all of us. Like, bro, why did you tell us? Like, everybody who's learned about this. And then he's like, we'll be eliminated, yes. Like,
dude, it's like, dude, I know it's Usopp, just like, no, I heard him say it.
Yeah.
And
forget it, Usopp, forget it. You didn't hear anything
and
banging his head against the ground.
Busting his head. It's so good. And he tries to, like, pass it off like, no, it's only a theory. But, like, look, come on, dude. And then, like, Daft Punk over here, like, hey, Nico Robin, if Ohara was indeed wiped out over this theory, that means the government has admitted it's true. And, like, Robin really, like, hits it, like, cuts through all the bullshit. She's like, look, what capacity are you speaking in here? Scholars of Ohara, like, had to perform painstaking research on precious ancient texts to arrive at that theory. With your status, can you learn the truth straight from the government? And the answer is no. Whether affiliated with the government or not, the result would be the same. Even I would be eliminated for speaking about it. And that would is very funny, considering we, the audience, know.
Yeah. that it should be will.
Soon.
Yeah. And Usopp's like, I don't want to hear it. Like, this is torture. Let us go. And I love Robin is like, in that case, how did you learn about the ancient kingdom? All the texts, the library that Ohara compiled is all, and then just the classic white background with like the little dust specks like flying through, and we just get Shaka like, the will of Ohara still lives. And he just starts explaining, like, on the events of that day shocked the world. The island of scholars, the most knowledgeable place in the world, destroyed in the course of a single night with only one little girl left alive for the crime of being a fanatical sect of scholars seeking to overturn the world government itself. And Robin's getting, like, visibly uncomfortable. And he's like, several months after it happened, I took a trip to the charred remains of Ohara. I'd known the great archaeologist Dr. Clover in life and thought it appropriate to pay my respects to his memory. And she's like, you knew Professor Clover? And he's just like, oh yeah, he was an adventurer who obsessed over the Void Century and traveled the world in search of rare texts. Clover was arrested by the Navy and broke out of prison 10 whole times. It made him the most famous archaeologist in the world. And we get to see like a young Clover on a pirate ship. Like,
dude, knowing that he's a pirate makes like a lot of sense, honestly.
Yeah.
And like, he continues, but the way in which events unfold, this chapter's a wild one, man.
Yeah,
eventually,
it's a wild one for sure.
Other scholars were drawn to him in his quest, and Ohara became a sacred land for archaeology. Their brilliance was the cause of their tragedy. I set foot on Ohara, where even the tree of knowledge had been burned to the ground, and what I saw stunned me. And we get this ugly silhouette.
What I'm seeing is stunning me, dude.
Exactly. Like, dude, what the fuck? Okay, moving past that, the silhouette is still stunning. The lake in the center of the island was full of a massive collection of books and papers of all kinds. I suspect that as the Buster Call burnt down the island around them, the scholars of Ohara made their final stand and died protecting the fortune they wished to leave behind for the future. Ignorant soldiers would not have the ability to recognize the value of what they were seeing. Ohara won. When I saw and understood what happened, it left me helpless to stop the tears from coming. Dude, fuck the will of D. The will of Ohara. That's good shit.
And Robin is like shaking, tears in her eyes. Just like, fuck. Because you have to think of it this way, like closure for her. Like she, her mom was like gave her to Saul. And like in the flashback, when you read it, it's really like, what the hell? Like you're choosing, I don't know, like you're choosing this over your own daughter? Like what the heck?
Right.
Dude? Like it's just, it's real weird. And it's like, dude, like Robin's deadbeat mom comes back and then like just abandons her again. Like what the hell? I mean, I'm boiling it down like,
Right. That the same way we call Dragon a deadbeat dad.
Yeah. But like, dude, like she never knew the reason why her mom chose to stay behind, and learning from Vegapunk that not only like did Ohara like survive technically, like, they were able to, like, they won. Learning that they won and then coming to realize that the reason why her mother stayed behind was to help Ohara win, basically. To help get the books into the lake so that they wouldn't be burned to the ground is like, dude, that hurts. Like, that hurts.
It really does, but like, the line that's like brought up in this like re-flashback, like, I still have things to do here. Like, Mother, I don't want to leave. I want to save the books, throw them out the windows. Robin, history is humanity's greatest asset. We cannot give up on the future of the world. That hits hard, man.
Yeah. And we even get like her crying and then Saul. No. Right now he's just Saul. But later he will receive his name. Your mother is noble. Ohara fought against the world, as she's like crying, realizing, and finally we cut back to the present as Robin is crying, and Frankie, defending his wife, is like, "Hey, what's the big idea making Robin cry, stupid helmet?" And even Sanji's like, "You're gonna get it, Vegapunk, as soon as my shoes are released."
Yeah. Oh man, dude, she knows. I mean, as if she wasn't fucking like spying on them, like when Clover was getting executed. Because like I went back and read the Ohara flashback chapters, and like, dude, Clover was about to name the shit, and as he was naming the shit, the five elders were like, "Murk this guy. We cannot. He knows too much. Shoot him." And like, now that everyone's kind of on the same page of like, holy fuck, it's all real. Even Vegapunk is like, oh, yeah, it's all real. But Robin with the good question: where are the books from the lake now? I wanted to take them back to Punk Hazard with me. Would have been crazy if we got it there.
Oh my god, yeah.
But if my superiors had heard about it, all would have been lost. The truth is, I encountered quite a combination of people that day, and we get the fucking flashback, dude.
Dude, Ohara West Blue 22 years ago, months after the Buster Call incident, and you just see the tree is a couple pages ago, like, I think the previous page, you could see like the tree of Ohara, like there on the island. On this panel, gone, grazed to the ground. Like the island doesn't even look the same. And we see Vegapunk. He's like, who's here at these ruins? Giants. And you see the giants like, all right, lift it up. And he's like, what? Again, this disgusting silhouette is like, what are the giants doing here? And what do I do now? Do they understand the value of these books? And then instantly just, it's been a while. Hello, Vegapunk. Not that I had to guess it was you, thanks to that head of yours. And we just get turning around. Is that Dragon? What are you doing here? Double page spread. Monkey D. Dragon, captain of the Freedom Fighters, age 33. And then Dr. Vegapunk. Ooh, nasty looking.
Dude,
and it's
I hate it.
It's only the scrote head that gets me.
Yes, that's what like really, really sucks. Like the long tongue, like I get it.
Yeah, we get a redesign of this, like a reimagining of this later.
And I'll explain then
Amazing.
what the whole shit is. But like,
yeah.
But here, fucking ball head.
Yeah, gross. But he's like, oh, I'd ask the same of you, Vegapunks. Somehow your head has grown even larger. I knew old Clover as it happened. So Dragon knew Clover. And he's like, oh, you too? And, well, he had a way of trotting around the globe, didn't he? The idea that he would try to destroy the world. A bad joke or a cover-up? And Dragon's like, are you curious about those giants too? No, they're not thieves. I already looked into it. They've come from elbaph, it seems. And they know that these books down there are worth. Their captain was a strange man, all covered in bandages.
I want to point out, before we continue, the giants on the lake, that's Hyridin's crew.
Yeah, that's the giant pirates.
Yep.
The original giant pirates before they disbanded, and then when Harudin joins the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, he gets the band back together in the cover story.
Exactly.
But like, it's so interesting now because it's like we learn who their captain is. Their captain was a strange man covered in bandages. We get that on like one of the next pages, but like Dragon is talking. He's like, he said Ohara gave their lives to save this asset of humanity. We can't let it be erased from history. It's a good thing that your world's government didn't figure it out and come back to destroy the books that remained. And Vegapunk is like, now just a moment, I'm not. And petty ass Dragon is like, it made me sick to hear the news that your government lapdog now when you were too good to accept our offer to join the Freedom Fighters. And Vegapunk is straight up like, don't be stupid, you poor. Like, what would my intellect and expertise achieve with an impoverished military force like yours?
Can I get political in this Waffle House real quick?
Yes, please do. So
it's really clear that, especially with how we see him later, Vegapunk's based off of Einstein.
Yeah.
Like, specifically the Einstein picture where he's like pointing out his tongue, like,
yeah.
And so like
Oppenheimer,
like the parallel is so strong. Like,
yeah,
like Vegapunk has done awful shit. Einstein, like, unfortunately, like, participated in the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
So like, but so people, a lot of people know that much, but like, what a lot of people don't know is that Einstein was like a socialist through and through. He wrote an article for a journal back in like the 50s or something called Why Socialism. Haven't read it, don't know like what his like internal politics are or whatever, but like, you know, this is kind of like where there's like some separation. Oh, before I continue, Dragon was apparently based off of Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Fidel Castro. Being from South Florida, it's kind of hard to learn about him because
yeah,
everyone around you's like, he's a devil, he's a demon. And it's like, okay, but like, I'm not gonna lie, things on Cuba seem pretty alright. Like,
yeah, okay, but also like, can I just learn about the dude? Like,
watch, we're gonna get some fucking review of some he took my family's ranch, and now we had to escape. We had to fly out on our private jet out from Cuba and could never return. Like, that's the kind of headassery everyone says about fucking Fidel Castro. So, like, knowing nothing about the man,
and now I hate him.
Right.
Yeah, it's like living in South Florida. You just like, dude. I've had to like scour to like find actual things about like Castro and the Cuban government and stuff like that. Because I'm like, dude, like, you ask anybody, like, even like. Dude, it's wild. Castro is everyone's personal mortal enemy, sleep paralysis demon who kicked every single person's cat, and also put Saran wrap on their toilet. Like, he's done that to every single person.
Like,
I digress.
The final point, the people who like really hate Castro are also the fucking kind of people who literally immigrated to South Florida and then immediately are like, no more immigration. And it's like, dog, what the fuck? You closing the door behind you? What the fuck, man? Like, okay,
wild.
Again,
I bet Dragon closed the door behind him. Head ass.
Fucking that's what the tattoo's for. That's what that symbolizes. I like knowing nothing about Fidel Castro, like objectively nothing, but knowing that like the people who say these heinous things about him are like politically the most ridiculous people.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever, man. Like,
yeah,
like
I do like the sort of line Oda's drawing here, where it's like, like you said, like Einstein wrote like, why socialism is a thing, and as like a article or whatever, and like he perfectly encapsulates it in here, like what he tells Dragon, like, what the hell would I get with your like poor army? Like, he has his ideals, but at the same time, it's like, in order to achieve his goals as a scientist, like, I mean, Lilith said it best, like, you need funding.
Yeah.
So, like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, but, like,
right. Like,
for Vegapunk, it's like, okay, like, I would be, like, he's willing to make a deal with the actual devil in order to be able to do the things, like, he wants
not
to do.
Like it.
Yeah.
Because like, continuing on with everything, like he kind of tries to like justify his decision. Like, the world government is a massive organization. Within the Navy in particular, there are many reasonable people to be found. Don't lose sight of the gold dragon. But like, he also recognizes like the destruction of Ohara is absolutely horrid. It is for the crime of speaking their mind to the cruel and unfair force that is the law, a group of powerless academics was obliterated by extreme violence. Like, it's kind of what we've always predicted, that like, the man doesn't necessarily have the most perfect morals, but he does have like a bit of a conscience.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, they like, the revolutionaries want to protect people first and foremost. Like, they want to overthrow the celestial dragons, but like, I mean, you just think of Bello Betty's like power is meant to like, empower the people themselves.
Yeah. Real on the like nose.
Yeah. But no, he's talking to Vegapunk at they put the flowers on like the gravesite, and he's like, I'll create a military force that can actually fight back. And Vegapunk has like a exclamation point. He's like, you will? Despite your hatred of war? He's like, just watch, Vegapunk. I'm gonna change the world. I'll see to it that Clover's death and Ohara's will do not go to waste.
Ooh.
And Shaka says, before that year had ended, he had joined with Emporio Ivankov and Bartholomew Kuma and created the revolutionary army that now shakes the world to its core. And we get everyone's reaction, and I just love this chapter, if not for anything else, but like everybody finding out these things, like our characters finding out these things for the first time, and everyone's reaction. Like Nami's like, oh, I didn't realize Luffy's dad was so passionate. And Usopp is like, did you mention elbaph? Robin, Dragon, and Professor Clover knew each other? Frankie's like, my brain is overflowing. Why did Kuma help us, man? Why did you make him a cyborg? My favorite is Sanji. It's just, wait a minute. Like, Ivankov was a founding member of the revolutionaries. Like, this whole ass 2 years, Ivankov is beating the shit out of Sanji to make him stronger, and never once mentioned, like, hey man, I'm part of the revolutionary.
Dude, it's honestly so good. And like, the thing that really, like, in all of this, I'm Robin. Like, I'm really stunned by this chapter and how, like, more pieces are getting tied together. But as always, as much as you connect the dots, more dots keep showing up. It's, oh man, it's crazy. Man. One Piece is good, man.
One Piece is good. We get the best character right now, his true form. It's true that we must not allow the government to discover that Ohara's library still lives. So out of personal interest, I traveled to elbaph in secret and read all of the books they rescued. In other words, all of the world's mysteries that Ohara deciphered are right here in my brain, where I have carried on that great work of researching them. And like before he's like like he was talking to Robin, like, oh, about like the captain of the Giants when they found the books and stuff. And we see a panel of Vegapunk talking to a giant, all bandaged up, face silhouetted out, but you can see the little hat is Saul Goody Man.
I was telling John, like, I didn't remember his last name. And like, I don't fucking watch what a Better Call Saul. Like, I don't fucking know this shit. And so like, I was like trying to look him up, I'm like, what's his name? Saul Goodman? No, that can't be right.
Goodman. Saul bad guy. I saw somebody made pixel art of plus R Soul bad guy versus Slayer, but they edited the sprite of Slayer to be Saul Goodman.
That's really good. Oh, that's incredible. God. I wanna come ahead from a couple of things. Like, like this is honestly, I love that he survived this. Arthur pointed out that like, oh, like, and I went back and like read it myself. The Aokiji, when he like defeated Saul, what he said was like, oh, whatever, like ice time capsule or whatever, specifically time capsule. Like, it's not necessarily unreasonable that like he survived. I mean, shit, Robin survived literally the same thing.
Yeah, and even like as they're throughout that whole flashback, like we purposefully keep cutting to Aokiji. Yeah, and you can see in his like, you know, in his speech bubbles, like he does not agree with this at all.
No,
and it's, you know, being forced to do the Buster call and then like going onto the ground and just, you know, doing whatever he can to like help without it seeming like he's actually helping. Which is even, you know, like that's even what he did like at the beginning of Water 7. Like when they first meet Aokiji, like he appears to Robin and is like, yo, like you gotta be careful. Like he warns her.
Yep.
He attacks the Straw Hats, but he gives her a warning. He's like, "Yo, like you have to be careful. Like they can't, like you have to be sure that this is a road you want to go down." And it's very interesting, and I'm glad that we saw him in in the cover story, because like, oh, his character's so interesting, and I just want more. Like he's, oh man, he's good.
I want to say like.
But I can totally buy that he saved Saul, or like let Saul live.
Yeah.
And like I for one am not mad about Saul living.
No.
Because like, we talk about it all the time on the show, but like there's so many people in the community that just like, I get it. Like I get the sentiment of like, if a character dies, it should mean something. But at the same time, some of that complaining about deaths not meaning anything turn into just being blood hungry and wanting characters to die just for the sake of having something meaningful. And it's like, well, no, characters don't have to die, like
right. Like there was still a sacrifice there, a huge sacrifice, and that's kind of what like mattered. And like, it's not that he didn't like suffer for it,
Yeah.
Like, wait, this doesn't read as like not being willing to like pull the trigger. It just reads like actual fucking payoff, like the will of Ohara, man. Like, it was because like Saul got like fucking Ohara pilled because he captured Olvia. And even more as the Buster Call was happening, he realized like this shit's actually real and it's really important. Like the world needs to know. Like, I don't know. I'm good with it. I will say I've been seeing people like throw around like, oh shit, like he's the man with the burn scar. I don't see how people are saying that, man.
Oh yeah, the man with the burn scar. Who brought up the man with the burn scar again? It was
a couple of chapters ago. Law made a weird face about it. Was it Kid that brought it up?
It was Kid. Kid brought it up, which because it wouldn't be a burn scar, but maybe he's all bandaged up. Could it be like a ice, like freezer burn,
like necrosis kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probable, and if that's the case, like sure, and it could read as a burn scar as well. I just I don't know. Like I think it's kind of just like we're hitting the lurking legend of Wano again,
Oh, the lurking legend. Yeah. We're getting too caught up in the lurking legend huff and puff, but Robin is like that giant captain. His name was Saul, wasn't it? And there's just like silence, and it's like, he is currently hiding. I could not tell you more how whoever he might be.
Dude,
like he defends, like he can't. I get that he can't still like trust them or whatever, so he's doing his best to be like, oh, like he's hiding, like I can't tell you more. But whoever also, he might be,
he's aware that like. So the reason he brought the whole Cognito Hazard fucking shit is because he needed to confirm this with Robin, but like he seems to be like if it weren't for that, he would have been cagey about that as well.
Yeah.
But like, dude, like how could you say like how could you be like super disappointed? Like if you're somewhat disappointed, if you feel conflicted, understandable. But if you're like rock hard super disappointed, how could you be looking at this picture of Robin?
Dude, Robin, the part that gets me is like, God, Oda draws like ugly cries the best, but even in this ugly cry, she is so beautiful and I must protect her. Like the wavy mouth is what gets me. That's what gets her. She can't even like keep her mouth like, she's smiling, but it's like wavy, like her face is like shaking. She's happy, but also like
she's gone through so much, man.
Like I did not expect going into Egghead Island. I didn't expect going into the rest of the series to have Robin get closure for that, you know?
Yeah, like, fuck, dude, are we gonna find out that, like, she's actually, like, Kuina or some shit?
Yeah.
The stairs weren't real?
Yeah. The stairs weren't real? Oh my god, no. Like, fucking, what is it? If you listened to our previous episode, our special episode Red, where we recorded a 2-hour discussion of One Piece Film Red, with the homies at We Are. It's on both of our feeds if you want to go listen to that. If you've watched Film Red, I highly recommend it. It's real fun. I had such a good time talking about that movie. But somewhere in that recording, I definitely was going off on Yasopp because I'm like, no, Yasopp is a deadbeat father. Like, he left and then Usopp's mother died. Like, I blame him for that. I've been on this show. I've talked about Nico Olivia or whatever, and I'm like, no, I think we did a tier list of, like, the best dads in One Piece, and I'm pretty sure we put Olivia on just so we could give her, like, fucking the lowest rating because she sucks. And now it's like I'm eating my own shit because I'm like, oh my god,
hoisted by our own petards.
Yeah, like, I never in my life would have. I was ready to go the rest of the series wearing my I hate Nico Olivia like shirt, and now I have to burn that shirt. Or I cross out hate with the red marker and write love.
It's the kind of thing where, like, you know, it's definitely, like, possible to be a little more charitable with her than with, like, Dragon, and then especially more so than with Yasopp.
Yeah.
Like the order is, like, Olvia, Dragon, Yasopp, like, far below the both of them. Because, like, like, the thing with Dragon, like, I think the most harshly inciting incident with Dragon being, like, an F tier father is when someone brought up and was like, oh, your son Luffy's in the news. He was like, oh, how's Nico Robin?
yeah. Oh, your son's bounty poster is in. Oh, he's famous. Oh, that's cool. Hey, is Robin in there?
yeah. That's where shit got fucking, you know, the worst. That's where his bad rep comes from.
Oh man, but no, dude, this panel, and it's like such a tiny panel in the chapter as a whole, but, like, dude, this panel of Robin is everything to me. Like,
I will frame it. I'm gonna print it out.
So good.
Fucking, I'm gonna make a do it for her poster.
Oh my god, yeah, do it for her, and it's all of the panels from this chapter of her, like, crying, like dude, I love Robin. Robin is good. Can I just say, I'm so happy that Blackbeard kidnapped Pudding. And hold on, because I love Pudding.
Yes.
And I want her and Sanji at the end of the series to have their own restaurant on Whole Cake Island or whatever.
Baby.
And I want them to be cooking and have a happy, I want them to be happy. But also, I was so terrified for the longest time that I was like, oh no, Blackbeard's gonna capture Nico Robin. Like, he's gonna take her so she can read the poneglyphs. And I was so afraid, and I'm so glad that Oda decided to be like, no, actually she's really strong and able to hold her own, and she's not getting captured.
Yeah.
And also, here, I'll give her free therapy for you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Dude, thank fucking God. Like, she thanks him for ensuring that Ohara's battle wasn't in vain. And he, like, brushes it off a bit. And, like, this really shows kind of, like, how he attempts, in his brain, he's apolitical. I am simply engaged in all areas of study. It is the nature of a scholar. They all start moving on, but their Dom boots are still, like, planted, and they're all just, like, sliding. I cannot release you, but you may come with me. I have something to show you. Which, like,
what on earth are you about to show me?
After all this?
Yeah.
We're not done?
Oh, and we cut to the final like setting of the chapter. Scrap heap Fabrio phase in the egghead. He's like, "Hey Chopper, there's no place to ride inside of it. Oh, it must be the kind that goes on its own. Then how about go robot? What's the command? No, I bet we all have to call its name first. Go Robonosuke, go Robo King." Bonnie's just like, "You guys are such dumb little kids. That's not going to dodom." It just starts activating.
It goes like, whom, kind of like the Inception sound.
Yeah.
And it's just like Luffy's the robot exploded. And we see a man that we now recognize.
Yeah.
Stuck.
We see a tongue.
"Help. Ivory Quasar, help. I failed again. Blast it. Someone, anyone. Ivory Quasar, help. Did time space get twisted somehow while I was warping?" And like,
I love this panel so much. Call back to Punk Hazard when they first met. What is up with this guy? He looks like Kinemon. Hang on, I'll save you.
I'm sinking, which is like a little weird. Like, consider that last time we saw the Jinbei pacifista use the swim fruit.
Yeah.
Like, as like some safeguard, maybe he's like, I don't know. It feels like everything this man does is like slightly related to fruit powers.
Oh yeah. I mean, even
even the thing.
top of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we get Bonnie like, "Wait, that's," and he's just like, "Thank you. Oh, you're Dragon's son, aren't you? I knew you were here. Thanks for coming." And he turns around, he's like, "And you, Bonnie, oh, how much you've grown. It's so good to see you flourishing." And Luffy's like, "What? Is he floating?" And Bonnie is ready to like kill.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, I see you're wearing them too. Look, the Dom shoes have a hover function. Just push the button in the side, grab the lever, and push it down." And they all do it, and they're like, "Whoa, we shot up too high. Ira Quasar, help." And we get full shot of his face and body. Dr. Vegapunk, the smartest man in the world, SSG, Navy Special Science Group leader. And then just chapter end to be continued. But like, we get to see, he doesn't have a code name, so this is the true body.
Yes, yeah. I think the bodies refer to him as the Stella.
Yeah, so this is the Stella, which is, now, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm assuming is that like he took parts of his brain and put them in the new bodies, and that's why his head is like shrunk down now. Like,
that is what I'm
open.
assuming as well.
Yeah.
Like,
because I kind of thought about it last week, or the more I thought about it last week, I thought of it as like, I kind of likened it to Father from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, that's a great way to
where
put it.
he like Father in Full Metal Alchemist, like he split the parts of his humanity into the homunculus because he wanted to reject his humanity. He thought that like humanity is like useless to him. There's a whole bunch of other stuff they go into with that in the end of the series, but like that's one of the first things you learn about him. But like this is like Vegapunk is just a much more petty Father, whereas Father was like, I reject the parts of my humanity that make me like, I hate being envious, or like I hate the 7 deadly sins within me. And Vegapunk is just like, I never want to shit again.
Yes.
If I could outlaw shitting, if I could somehow make one body shit for the all of us.
Shitting takes too much time out of me. I need a workaround. And instead of being a baller and wearing a catheter and a poop tube, he does this.
Yeah, he took the pooping section of his brain and gave it to York.
Like, that's crazy. Look, I genuinely believe. Okay, so let's hit one thing. The space pirates, elongated head, skull,
Yeah.
on their Jolly Roger.
Yep.
Like, yeah, oh, it looks like a xenomorph or whatever.
Cannot be coincidence.
I
Absolutely cannot be coincidence.
Like, I, it's not that it can't. I refuse to believe that it's a coincidence.
Yeah. See, I got sent a friend of the show, Billy, our eye in the sky, sends me cryptic messages every week about the chapter. Enough to not spoil me, but enough to keep me like intrigued for the Sunday release. And all I got was, in all caps, Vegapunk is not a weasel, but it's just as funny. But I was kind of right in a way. And then just a picture of the space pirates, Jolly Roger. And I was like, I don't even know what to think of that. Like, what on earth? And then we get to the chapter and I see the elongated head and I'm like, okay, there's no way that that's like not a thing.
Yep.
You know? Which is, that's wild to me.
It's so fucked. And like, him not having his giant scrotum head now has to be the work of some devil fruit. Like, okay.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Like, that is my pet theory. Now that his head is like an apple and it's kind of open and just empty, like that kind of, like who knows what's going on right there, right? But like, okay, I want to call it the brain drain, no me. That's definitely not what it is, of course, right? But, like, now I've gotten political in this podcast, in this Waffle House. Now let me get Catholic in this podcast.
The duality of man.
Yeah. Fucking. That's right. That's what it takes to be a Christian anarchist.
Hell yes.
So, like, I'm not the kind of person to take the Bible as literalism. I'm not going to get into any opinions or judgment otherwise, because I have choice words. But if taking, the story of, like, Genesis metaphorically, the whole, like, Adam and Eve eat an apple, right? Like,
yeah,
the devil says, "Hey kid, eat an apple. I'm the devil." And that action is what separates them from the rest of the animals, the rest of everything that lives in the Garden of Eden. Like, a very popular conception of what the apple represents is that, like, it represents knowledge. And the Garden of Eden represents immortality. And it's like, you cannot have both, because if you have both, therefore you are akin to God. So you can only have, like, one or the other. So I don't know how that connects to him having 6 fucking bodies. But, like, the whole thing that, like, devil fruits, the devil fruit of knowledge or something, like, there's something there. I do not have the solution, but I am confident that there is something there.
Yeah, I took it as, well, when I first saw it, I see the design, and the first thing I thought of was like, oh, like, he's just, like, kind of, like, taking all kinds of different, like, the apple, like, observing gravity with the apple, like, falling on his head. It wasn't Einstein.
Right. The asshole.
The dude. The gravity guy.
The gravity guy.
One.
The
guy, the gravity guy from Zatch Bell. You know the one.
Exactly. Newton. Jesus Christ.
Newton.
We know too much about One Piece, and we're starting to forget, like, real life shit that matters.
Yeah, Fig Newton. Anyways, so, like, I was like, oh, like, that's cute, like, a little design on his head. And then the more I'm thinking about him, like, wait a minute, like, because you can kind of see, like, the apple on his head is, like, sticking out.
Yes.
Almost as if, like, everything but the core has been, like, taken away.
Interesting, yeah.
Which you could kind of see as like, oh, like maybe if he does, I can see him having a devil fruit, and that's how he was able to split the bodies up. Like he was able to give them a piece of himself with this devil fruit, whatever devil fruit it is.
And like he was the perfect person for that kind of devil fruit, where like, you know, if it was anyone else, the remaining core of the brain would be like fucking the lizard brain, right?
Yeah.
But like this man had allegedly so much to give. He had so much scrotum to give. Fucking, if only he was real, Lance Armstrong would have had a fucking transplant.
Dude, the scrote goat, dude.
Fucking, there's like this like one trans meme going around that like it's a little old. That's like, oh, like I hope you're ready for your top surgery or whatever. And then like the person gets put under, and then like the person comes out of the surgery with no boobs, and it's like, oh, your top surgery was a resounding success. And it's like, oh, where's insert person who went into the like op room with me? It's like, who do you think took your boobs?
Oh man.
And it's like, dude, fucking, oh man, brain surgery today. Oh, where's all of these dudes? It's like, who took your scrotum?
Who do you think took your brain? As York is just shitting and farting in the corner, like, just profusely. I realize, like, at any point, like, if this is a devil fruit, like, Luffy could never have it, because Luffy would purposefully shit York's pants constantly. Like like the idea of like that meme of like, I'm going to shit your pants, or like I'm going to piss your pants. Like Luffy would do that nonstop.
Dude, fucking. Do you think you could reach into his brain and make him do that? Do you think you could plankton him?
Maximum overdrive, Dr. Vegapunk, maybe.
Fucking. Oh man, One Piece is crazy.
God, this was such a good chapter. I'm looking at shoutouts to Grant the Thief on Twitter. I am looking at their tweet, and it's just the two panels of like, oh, the giant, his name was Saul. And if you know Grant, if you followed Grant the Thief on Twitter and you followed his One Piece thread of him catching up to One Piece, he is like Robin for life, and he's just like, I am whole, I am healed. And I think that's all of us right now. Like,
genuinely, dude, like it was really good. It was really good to see.
I was not expecting anything we got this chapter, but I'm so happy we got it.
Dude, I mean, like, we're like, okay, yeah, we've tended to go hour like for the past while. Like that's just how we've been recording recently.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. It's just like we had a lot to say.
Yeah.
And we had to fucking like get through it. Like,
it's, oh man.
One
Piece is good. Basically.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. That's it for us this week. We're not on break next week, I don't think. I think it said 7 days on Viz.
I hope not.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we are not on break, so we will be back next week with chapter 1067. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. We are at Paramecia Cast on Twitter, Paramecia Fancast everywhere else. Episodes go up every single week on our hosting site, parameciafancast.libsyn.com, if you like direct downloading it. As soon as it's uploaded to the hosting site, it is available on every podcatcher, so Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Podcast or Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, everywhere that you can get podcasts, we're available on. If you like the show, if you like us, if you listen to us on Spotify or iTunes or any of those, give the show a like, subscribe to the show, 5-star rating, give us comments. We say it every week, but every little bit of engagement helps content creators so much, so much more than anything really.
It really does. And like just putting it out there, we're finally going to start like opening up financial support for us. So, and like, to be transparent ahead of it, like we're probably not going to be doing too much extra. You fucking know us. We promise a lot of things and it takes us a long time to fucking put out. So, getting ahead of everything, just don't expect like extra stuff from it. It's kind of just like, if you really want to, it would be great to like have the podcast server covered. And to maybe have some more for like, upgrading equipment and shit,
Yeah.
So,
and like, yeah, we both like we've said, like we both work full time. So like doing the podcast is like, we're able to do the podcast like no problem.
Yeah,
but it's like,
it's for fun.
I don't want to like come out that we both didn't want to come out the gate with like a Patreon copying other people's like setups where it's like, oh, for like $5 we'll make this, for like $5 or $10 a month, like we'll make a video of your choosing. Like maybe at some point in the future that could be feasible, but like for right now, like,
yeah, we're
with the way our schedules are going, like we don't have time, like,
no shot,
like to do all that stuff, nor do we have like an editor, so it would take us even longer to do some of that stuff.
Like, it would be crazy. Like, I don't expect us to get to that point, but like, if we can pay for an editor, I'm pretty sure John and I would just fucking shit out content left and right.
Oh, dude, yeah, if we could get an editor, like, yeah, it would be a lot easier for us.
Well, we could look at
but
costs,
yeah, well,
like, that could be like a goal or some shit.
Yeah. And like we said, like we're looking into it right now. We're gonna try to launch it
relatively soon.
Sooner rather than relatively soon. But yeah, you'll know more information about it on the Discord at Paramecia Cast, or Paramecia Flower Capital. The permanent invite link is on the Twitter at Paramecia Cast.
And that's
in the bio,
not going anywhere. That's staying free. So like, y'all don't sweat about that.
Yeah. When we finally iron out the details, like if you go to our Discord or the Twitter, like you'll get the complete breakdown.
Yeah.
We want to give you guys something as thanks for supporting us all these years for absolutely free. So
yeah, exactly.
we'll be able to put out like, extra audio episodes on like the Patreon if you're a Patreon donor. Like we'll be able to do extra stuff like that.
Right.
But
it just can't schedule
to to taper expectations. It's not gonna be like, I'm gonna make a fucking I'm super eye patch wolf. I'm gonna make a whole ass like hour-long video on a breakdown of like it's.
Yeah, no, man, fucking.
We're not at as much as I would love to be at that point. We're not at that point yet.
Yeah, for sure. We're starting small. We want your expectations to be tempered. We want ours to be as well.
Yeah, I have no doubt at some point we could get it to a spot, not like that where we're able to put out more stuff. But for right now, we're just doing this.
Yeah, genuinely. And thank you all for just being with, like, we kind of mentioned in the Film Red episode, you might not have listened because you might not have access to Film Red, but yeah, like, happy
anniversary.
It's been
everybody.
5 years.
Yeah, on I think that last episode we did was our 5-year like anniversary episode. Whatever episode happens at like the very end of October, starting November, that was like our
anniversary.
That was our like anniversary, yeah.
And like,
but
we would have put out like regardless, but like it's crazy that we've built this community, and like as community is just the nature of it. Community is made by y'all, like. Yeah, we've like brought you all together in some way, but like we're not sitting here like playing with dolls and just like, oh, now kiss, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see, and I'm fucking glad to see it.
Yeah, no, our community is great. Everybody in that Discord and on Twitter and our little Twitter circle is so awesome, and I love you guys.
Hell yeah. Crack theory.
Yeah, anniversary crack theory.
Fuck.
Yeah, something elbaph. Something.
Damn, girl, are you from elbaph? Cause you gotta go take elbaph right now. Shit, you stay. Man, fuck.
Damn, bitch, you live like this.
I want out.